Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to Kerrash Landing, Nearly Dangerous Community Show. It's me once again with my good friend Cmdr Arimus. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well, Chris. Thank you. How are you, sir?
Better. A little bit better than I was when I helped you on the other day. My voice is still a little bit croaky. I've got the Barry White thing going on. Yes. Yes.
Yes, I've got the hand hovering above the mute button because I will have to cough every now and then.
It's just I know how you feel. Yeah, it's time of year, isn't it? It's going to rain. Greetings to all you in the chat. Lovely to see some regular people. I can't get the chat list to load, sorry, but it's lovely to see you all there. Thank you for taking your time out for watching me instead of watching other space-related things which I know are on at the moment. But hey, it's all fun. It's all good. We are all cousins in another verse or something like that.
Well, it's just great to have you back doing your Friday stream, Crash. It's been missed.
I know. I got to try and do it more regularly. I'm not sure, obviously, which nights I can continue to do it, but I'm going to do it as many nights as I can do. Really. Need a bit more Crash on the mixer. I was having issues with my audio earlier on, as usual. It's not a stream unless you have audio issues, I think.
True.
My audio is a little bit low. It is. Thank you. Let me nudge that up a little bit. Let me we'll just keep that around there. Yes. So mic boost button. Yeah, I know. The problem it's complicated because I've got a mixing desk and I've got there's software, there's hardware. It's really complicated. Let's leave it that way. Yeah, so I'm sat in Jameson at the moment. I'm out in Open, I think, because I'm just feeling crazy, you know.
Well, I'm right there with you, Crash. I'm at the same station in Open.
Let's see if we can find. There we go. So we get you into a wing, just for the shiggles of it. We might head over to Dalakar. We'd carry on with a little bit of bounty hunting. Are you set up for that?
Oh yeah.
Cool. Apparently, I need to just make you whisper. Apparently.
Okay, I'll try not to talk so loudly.
Audio, you gotta love it. There's Arimus heading off. Siblings in choice of ships as well. That's
excellent. This thing is actually set up for PvP, but whatever.
This unfortunately isn't. It's kind of lacking. I haven't got many of the mods and things like that. Although I'm just going to go out in front of you a little bit. There we go. Where's Arimus? There he is. As you might be able to tell, I've done a little bit of tweaking. I've got the.
Let's see here.
I got some new toys.
Oh, let me check it out. Lights on. Oh, I like that ship skin.
Let's go out to external view so everyone else can get a shot. There we go. With keys
I see a
would be
pumpkin.
nice. There we go. Yes, we've rebranded the ship. My Fer-de-Lance is now the Pyroclastic Pumpkin. So I have the new skin, which has been the new decal, sorry, which has been added into things, or the Halloween decals, which are really cool because they're missing. They glow in the dark. It's cool. Let me see if I can do it. There we go. Glows in the dark. And I got the pumpkin bobblehead because, of course, it's Halloween week coming up, isn't it? So
Gotta have it.
Cool. LaveCon FTI, it is a good skin. I like it. I do like it. I thought, well, it fits in. Fits in with what we're going for tonight. Yeah, so I rebranded the Fer-de-Lance. I've got the little pumpkin bobblehead going in there. Right, so let's get a route plotted out to Dalkar. I imagine your jump range is somewhere the same as me, isn't it?
Absolute shite, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you gotta have a downside. These things must have balance.
It's actually 18. It's not that bad, but still.
That's pretty good.
I'm sure my my PvP instructor would be very disappointed.
Like I said, I must admit, not done a lot of engineering mods on this particular ship. Most of them I've been doing on like I said, the most engineered ship I have is my Sidewinder, which is stupid. But I love my Sidey. I love my little Twinkie.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next one from that is a Corvette, obviously, because it just makes sense. I'm using the Corvette quite a lot. It's a, you know, pretty much can kill everything when you're doing just PvE things and playing around. So great ship for doing everything.
I've got mine. My Corvette's also pretty engineered. It's almost unfair. I've got such good resistances on the shields; they just never go down.
It is crazy, yeah. Once you start stacking them up, isn't it?
Mm.
Is the audio? Shrike's just saying this. It's not okay. I notched it up a little bit, but I don't want to go whacking it way too high. I was trying to get the game audio balance a little bit more earlier on, and just.
Can you turn me down, perhaps?
Yeah, I have done both. I don't want to keep notching it down to the point of. Arimus wake detected. He's ahead of the game. Should we stop into the station first, a bit quick?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So we're going to do something a little bit different tonight, Aramis. We're going to, first of all, I'm going to carry on doing what I would normally do on a stream. And then, of course, you've got your stream coming up straight after as well. So we're going to take a short break in between, but don't touch that dial because we will be basically overlapping a little bit. So I will be heading over to you. Where were you heading? Invergary.
Invergary, yes.
Invergary or Outvergary? XLG, thank you. Yes, put the newsletter up on there whilst we are.
Oh, good on you, XLG. He's always on the money with the.
On the ball, thank you.
You've got to love XLG when it comes to newsletter links.
Yeah.
And Zaranel, if you're here, mate, thanks for posting it to me as well on the Discord. Much appreciated.
Yes, thank you. I don't know what it is, but towards the very beginning of the newsletters, I used to get them quite early on. And it's like, as it's progressed, I've been pushed further and further down the mailing list. I think I'm like right at the end now. And it's like half the time I don't get it until like Saturday morning now. It's like, okay, never mind.
Yep, same for me. Almost never get it.
Andy Pipkin saying the Sidewinder is awesome to engineer because it's sensitive to every tiny tweak. It's engineered his as far as he could possibly go with it. Yeah, it's really, really cool to do it. Just to take that tiny little thing, which just seems like, you know, impossible that it can do crazy stuff. I got like the jump range over 20 light years on it now and stuff like, which is like,
oh wow,
that's insane. It's a Sidewinder. It shouldn't be able to do that.
That's something I really enjoy about the whole engineering thing. I mean, you can pick a certain goal for your ship and then engineer it to specifically to that goal. So, for instance, I've built a racing Viper, which boosts to like 760, which is insane.
Ooh, nice.
It doesn't do anything else well, but it goes fast.
It's good in a straight line. Yeah, that's what I've been doing with the Imperial Eagle, actually, having great fun with that, engineering it up. So it's nice you can do that. I mean, that's what it's all about, really, is that customization, allowing you to do what you want to do, even though they have kind of like a base role that those ships are supposed to fulfill. You can kind of tweak and tune them to your own needs and stuff like that. What's that? I just saw one quickly on there. Was it NSR? Crash, there was a server update today. Any idea what changed? It was mostly to do with the mission system. I think there was some issues with people getting problems with the way the mission system was generating certain things. And it was mysterious switches. Was that seriously what they put in the patch notes? Oh dear. Yeah, it was mostly server-side things to fix mission board generation. Although I am still seeing the odd thing every now and then when I open the mission board, you get kind of like download data incomplete or something like that on there, and some weird message. And it happens. It's a shame, but you know, things break.
They do indeed. It's complicated software, this.
There we go. Andy Pipkins just put the thing up. Yeah, there was the forum thread from the support guys as well earlier on.
Oh, excellent.
Mission retrieval incomplete. Something to do, and this is going to sound really strange, but basically the mission system kind of generates all of the possible variations and delivers it down to you almost like an XML blob of data. And the issue happens that when you request like an incredible, because they've tried to bump up the number of missions that everyone gets, which is great and everyone loves it. But the problem is it puts additional load on the connection between you and the server, and sometimes the list doesn't fully download because it's so big it doesn't get squeezed into the packets, unfortunately. So yeah, something they've been trying to resolve. It's one of those balance things. Like if they bump the mission system too high so it generates too much, it would absolutely murder everything going between you and the server, and you know there'd be all kinds of problems for everyone. XOG loved the patch notes. Still chuckle at the harvesting player tears. That was yeah. It was funny to see that in there, but I think someone did get into trouble for making a joke on that. Bless them. It was like I got it. We laughed at it, but you know, there's always someone who takes offense to things, isn't there?
Indeed.
So Aid is saying, now what's my view on Obsidian Ant's recent vids of credits for different tasks still having balance issues? The most recent video of ants that I can recall seeing was the one that I was featured in. Hey.
Yeah.
Just a quick plug there, yeah. I was helping him with the Thargo thing. Are we talking... Because I know he spoke in the end of that video, he was talking about the Palin missions you get when you dock at Obsidian Orbital at the moment.
Yeah.
Which that seems to be the new credit. Have you seen that, Aramis?
I have. A mate of mine told me about it several weeks ago. He's like, "Yeah, I'm collecting alien poop and I'm getting paid millions."
yeah. It's unfortunate. I mean, they put these cool things in, but you guarantee that things are going to be exploited as soon as they're exposed, aren't they? And I think what happened here was the Thargoid Scout shouldn't have been found first. It was one of these things, a bit like the Guardian sites, where the third one was found before the first one was found. And it was like, how did you guys do this? So it was like, so that was discovered first. What should have happened is that the teaser stuff that was shown at the expo showed the INRA bases, which should have led people on a breadcrumb trail to find out where the research was initially done from the crash. So yeah, it all went a little bit backwards. So because that site was exposed and uncovered and people found about it, it kind of made the whole missions thing a little bit crazy. It may change in the future.
Well, I mean, you know, even though space is really big, there are a lot of players and they're all scouring those areas, you know, because they know something about the game lore and they're undoubtedly going to find something before Frontier anticipates it. I don't think there's anything they can do about that.
No, I mean, it happens. I mean, we'll get onto some of the bits in a minute about first encounters, but it is quite funny, actually, if you go back and play the first encounters and the previous games and pick up on some of the bits and pieces. There are so many hints and clues at the things that are going to be coming down the line. It's so blatantly obvious when you go back and look at it. And I'd forgotten a lot of this. I mean, kind of, you know, from the mists of my memory sort of thing, looking back again, I'm like, oh yeah, there was this and there was that. And it's like, well, that's so obvious now when you put them in order. It's like, all right, ooh, have we got any missions we can accept here, which would be... I don't think there's skimmer ones we can do. I'm going to just stack those up. There's massacre ships, but doesn't that need conflict zones? Yeah, conflict zones.
Is there a war going on here?
Yeah, I got a couple. There's some really nice missions. There's 3 12 million credit missions, all for the same system, for the same type of ships. 81 ships in a conflict zone.
There's still a rest here.
That's okay. We can head to where we want to go. The is it Dalkar 7, isn't it, with the Hazres?
Alrighty.
Yeah. Let's get launching there. AD said, when do you think we'll be able to land on Earth and go to Greg's for a sarnie? I would say
next
soon. Week. Yes. Why not? Let's just put that one out there.
You can try it next week.
Yes. IRR. Oh, you mean in the game? Oh, sorry, we misheard. Yes. But right, on your tail. And are you still FA offing?
Oh yes, sir.
Ooh.
Not going back now. Yes, sir.
I've been playing a little bit with it, but I need more practice, I think.
I'm determined to get good.
Get good.
Delcar 6, right?
Oh, 7 I was going to. Is
7, all right.
I think 7's got the Hazres, so...
Roger.
So Chester T is in the chat. Greetings, Commander. Greg's is closed, he says. Oh, don't talk about food. It's not fair. I'm hungry.
Have you not eaten yet, Kerrash? That's not good.
I had some bits and pieces, but I'm still hungry. He wants to be the Isonoda Mark II. Yes.
No. I just want to be me. Thanks.
I can get used to the off-center positioning of the cockpit on the Furley. It just seems a little.
Actually, speaking of like off center or whatever, I was just watching a Malik VR stream that you were hosting, and I've seen it with a couple of VR guys. Like, it's obvious that their headset is not completely straight on their face, and the whole cockpit is sort of slanted. I think that would drive me absolutely bananas.
Well, that's the really weird thing when you're in VR, is that kind of that natural head tilting that you do to lean into corners and things. You don't even realize that the screen is adjusting when you're inside a headset. From the outside observer, it's frustrating, because I mean, I've seen it with the kids when they're playing games, and you have like the doubling up the screen on the desktop so you can see what they're seeing.
Yeah.
It's like frantic as all hell. You can't tell, you know, it's like shuddering and shaking all over the place. You have no idea what they're trying to do. But when you're doing it yourself, it's absolutely clear. You just have no concept of the fact that the view is shaking around as rapidly as your head is.
Yeah, exactly.
Isonoda's done a fuel run rescue. I'll have to check that video out.
You hadn't seen that one yet?
No, I haven't seen that one. My YouTube subscription list is absolutely enormous, so I try and catch up with things as quickly as possible, but it's just not enough hours in the week, I don't think. Go on. Ooh.
Sorry for the background noise.
Oh, that's all right. No worries. No worries.
No, every time one of his videos comes out, I jump on it. I'm like, oh my god, he's posted.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's awesome stuff watching him do. I did see the one he was doing. He was just checking out like new players in Erivate and some of the mistakes they were making or something. Was that a couple of weeks ago? Was that one? I
think so. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, but I noticed that generally his when he gets into a conflict, like, he doesn't actually end up killing them, or they don't kill him or whatever. He's just in for the fight, you know.
Yeah.
I'm always impressed about his ship control. I mean, I told you about Newton's Gambit, right?
Yes, it's awesome.
So Isonoda blew me away, but when I saw these guys, I went, holy crap, really? Are you sure FA's off? Really?
It's just so smooth. When they practice with this, it's unbelievable. It really is. Zaranel, no, I've not got my my Oculus back yet. I'm gutted. I feel like I've got blinkers on. You know, I can't experience anything anymore.
You feel naked without it.
Yeah.
I did see you, like, you got your game status on Discord, and I saw you in Steam VR, but I was like, hey, get his headset back.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, since I've unplugged it, it's like every time I fire up a game now, I get the Oculus launcher and Steam VR both pop up frantically at the same time, trying to like it's like, oh, what's going on? And there's all kind of errors popping up, and it's like, but I don't want to uninstall it, because I know as soon as I uninstall it, it'll come back in the post, and I'll have to fix everything again. But
yeah,
pain in the backside. Hasres, right? Let me aim for the Hasres.
I've got my wing beacon if you need it.
Oh, roger. Let me nav lock engaged.
All right, so I am absolute rubbish with this ship.
Oh, I am too. So I'm so out of practice with the freelance. It's literally been in mothballs for about 6 months of this ship, I think. So I'm going to be terrible with it too. I'm not even sure what. To be honest, I didn't know what loadout I had on it. I had like fixed rail guns and things like that, which I tried to use, and I'm so out of practice with. It's not even funny. Oh, what have we got? Ooh.
Le Python.
Le Python. Get those shields down. I switched out the railguns because I did have a quick practice on it this afternoon, and I sucked. It's been so long since I've done fixed. Here we go. Stop chaffing. Stop chaffing. Stop that. It's silly. But I do like having the ridiculously large multi-cannon under here.
Boom!
I'll tell you what, I might try to force myself to have fixed. No, I can't. Can't do it. Boom! I do miss the ridiculous firepower of the Corvette though, because obviously
It's a bit insane.
yeah, I've got the engineering mods on it as well. So of course I got the G5 efficient lasers. I've got the rapid fire with corrosive shells on all of the multi cannons as well. So that thing literally eats ships for breakfast. It's ridiculous.
Corrosive. I thought corrosive didn't stack.
Is it? I'm pretty sure I got.
I think you.
Corrosive is a secondary effect, isn't it?
Yeah, so it'll increase the damage of your other weapons for a short time.
Yeah.
And apparently that doesn't stack, but things like an incendiary round that does. Apparently.
Maybe that's the one I have then.
Ah. It's the one that makes you heat up quite a bit.
Heats up there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna have to check. But I did have some good rolls on it. They were all G5s, and it's surprising how much that pushes the capability even further than what it already could do. It's just insane.
Oh, indeed, yeah.
Scan detected. Who's scanning me?
Corrosive doesn't stack. Yeah, see. Yeah, I got the same thing, Jester. I've got one on my Python. I've got three large multi-cannons. One is corrosive, the other two are incendiary. So, okay, this is where fixed weapon sucks. An eagle. Oh, I hit him.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I'm a gimbal scum at the moment. I know, it's terrible. Thump. Oh, those multi-cannons though. Oh,
kaboom! Well, he died first.
So satisfying. What's that? Triple three. Greetings, Commander. FT, please put a new canopy on the Third Alliance. I can't read the distance for ship name information. Does it go right?
It's true. Yeah,
it goes right over. Yeah.
It's weird that they haven't picked that up on that yet.
Yeah, it's a bit of a because obviously it's the way that it works. Obviously, is the glass is kind of a cutout. It's like a composite layer on the way that the graphics are built up, and then the 3D of the ship is kind of etched out of it. It's a bit of a pain. Oh, what have I got? I got a wanted. Oh, you got him. You were on him before I even read his name out. Elito, about to be al dedo. Oh. Oh, crikey, he's going for the... come on. I know multi-cannons aren't effective on shields, but... I was hoping to just try and pop that shield cell. That's what I had on the... oh, shoot. Got a heatsink. That's what I had on the railguns, actually, was the... was it the Cascade? To knock the shield cells out?
Yeah. Useful. Very useful.
Yeah. Like I said, I did try to use it, but just completely out of practice with this ship. So get so used to being. I think that's what it is. With the Corvette has made me lazy, to the point where, like I said to you earlier in the week, I'm not even docking it carefully. I'm just kind of like ramming it in there, slamming it down on the pad. Like, there we go, that'll do. The shields are holed up. It's fine. You know, it makes you so lazy.
Yeah, I refuse to do that kind of stuff. It's like anybody who is like my student.
Mm-hmm.
I will absolutely refuse them to buy a docking computer. It's just not allowed.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Draw the line at docking computers, I think.
That's right. Oh, there we go. Popped him.
XOG, yes, I've got the pumpkin bobblehead. Not only have I got the pumpkin bobblehead, but I ridiculously painted out the old Third Alliance here, so it's the pyroclastic pumpkin. I don't know. I was just trying to think of a funny name for it, and that was the best I could come up with on short notice. Not even sure what it means. The plasma pumpkin probably would have been better if I fitted it out with a plasma accelerator.
Oh, did you see that shot, Crash? I guess you did not.
I saw it in the distance. I was like, crikey, did he just... And I saw him go purple all of a sudden. I thought, Greg. Oh, speaking of plasma accelerators, that's what you're using there, isn't it?
It is, sir.
Nice.
So this build was actually put together for me by one of the SDC guys.
Very nice.
And he told me today he spent this week, he's done over 1,000 grade 5 rolls on his engines.
OMG. I mean, I'm dedicated, but I think that would kill me.
Yeah. his FDR now boosts to like 546 or something. It's ridiculous.
Wow. And that was something we touched on Wednesday, wasn't it? Was this what the upcoming changes for? Oh no, we didn't touch on. We were going to talk about it. How the upcoming changes for the engineers are going to work with Sandro saying that each new role will be an improvement.
Yeah, that confused me a bit there.
Yeah, and I think I mean I don't know precisely, but my interpretation of it, at least, or my speculation. I've not used that banner in so long. That was just an excuse to use the banner.
That was it.
But yeah, my thoughts on it, at least, is that it's going to be the grade is just going to affect the percentage probability of increase. So, like I said, like a grade 1 roll would be a tiny potential increase. A grade 5 would be the biggest potential increase, stepping up each time. But there's still like a percentage probability that, you know, say a G5 roll was somewhere between 1 and 10% possible jump in increase. You might get 1% if you're unlucky. You might get 10% each time. But when you start going to that top end, there's going to be a cap, obviously. You're not going to just keep getting 10%, 10%, 10%. It's going to be like, right, when you get up to that top, it's like, yeah, you can only get 1% more. That's it. Sorry. You know, it won't physically go any beyond a certain cap.
Well, I mean, still, if that is the case, you always get a positive result. People are just going to go, especially, you know, full PvP guys, they're going to go absolutely bananas.
Yeah, you're going to just totally max it out to whatever it can do. But, I mean, I think, like you say in there about the STC guys, is like, well, they're kind of doing that anyway. You know, it's just they're spending a heck of a lot of time doing it, so...
It'll just cost them less time now, less rolls or whatever. But
and you know, it will make it more accessible to people who don't have the time to do that as well.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, everyone knows who SEC is, and lots of people think they're evil. Blah blah blah. You got to hand it to them though; they are probably some of the most dedicated players certainly when it comes to engineering out there. And on the Galactic Academy, for instance, they do an absolutely amazing job. Helping the new guys get into PvP and loadouts and all that stuff, because it's a ridiculous amount of information that you have to sort of sift through.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. To the extent where I think I might be copying and pasting your outfitting when I get a chance, because to be honest, I can't get my head around it. It's way too much to comprehend on that. But that's sorry, go on.
Look at my shields and look at yours.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I mean, what you are running the? Let me have a look at your. So you got the prismatic shields. I take it you've got the 5As, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I think.
And have you got any mods on them?
It's a 4A prismatics, by the way.
4A prismatics.
Yeah, I've got grade 5 thermal resistance.
Right.
And I've got 4 shield boosters, and they are all. Augmented resistance.
Nice. So that's where I've gone wrong with this, is not having the thermal resistance. But like you said, I mean that is kind of a PvP build, but it's quite apparent that thermal resistance on shields is a big thing to go, and that's something I wanted to do. These are 5A prismatics with 2 shield boosters and a grade 3 reinforced, and as you can see, that is not very good.
Well, I mean, if you look at my shield health, for instance, that's like the megajoule pool. It's only 867, which isn't that great. But thermal resistance is 51.9%. So any weapon that's fired at me only does half damage, basically.
Yeah, and this is the problem I've got is, you know, even though my shield health is 936 at the moment, the thermal resistance on it is actually negative. It's pants. You know, like I said, I've got this thing out of mothballs. It literally is outfit the way that I left it 6 months ago, so it's in desperate need of a tune-up. I think this one, and I think that might be my next goal to get this one kitted out a little bit better.
Excellent.
Because I've unlocked most of the engineers now anyway, so there's 1 or 2 that I still need to get. What's your target, buddy? Let's see if I can catch you. You have Miguel Rios,
and I'm not sure I'm going to hit him because he's an eagle.
Oh, let me give him a little tickle. There we go.
I'm noticing, by the way, in this current version, explosions look very pixelated for me.
Oh, really?
Sure what it is.
Whoa.
Maybe because I'm a bad boy and I'm using EDFX. I don't know.
It may have knocked out the the contrast and all that. Have you got a shot on him? I don't want to start pewing him.
No.
Ooh.
This is impossible to hit this guy.
I mean, I can just...
Ah.
Oh, oh.
Nope.
Give him a little bit of I can see... Oh. There's a big chunk of text in the chat. I will try and read that in a second.
Whoa. Barry's son Damien, my dad had to op the other month. Oh, what?
Is that spam? I think it's...
A major stroke and was left with a lot of problems. He can't speak or type.
Don't know whether that's specifically elite related.
Sure. I'm not sure what that is. Right.
I don't follow. Right, I'm going to take him out because he's mullering my pants shields that I've got on here. There we go. I did see something up in there. Unfortunately, HS, no, I don't have enough influence at Frontier to get them to move the position of the cockpit chair. I would love that too. Perhaps you could cheat a little bit with the VR because I know you can recenter it. So if you move it the other way, recenter and then bring it back, you're set to go. Thermal resistant is good for PvE too. Yeah, XOG, I definitely want to do it. You've been running Biweave mostly. I was very tempted to look at Biweave for this because I think that they're massively overlooked Biweaves, but they are really, really useful.
That's what I use on my Corvette actually.
I think I've got it on the cutter actually. Pretty sure I have. What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? Triple three got a G5 thermal resistant Biweave shields never go down. Yeah, I really want to get some thermal resists on. I've got it. That's the frustrating thing. I've got it unlocked. I just need to find the friggin' mats for it. And it's that typical thing. It's like 3 mats that you need, and I've got lots of 2 and none of the third one.
Yeah, exactly.
Frustrating as all heck. Which really, at the end of the day, it's like that's what I'd like to see changed in the way that the things work, is some way of balancing that out. And people have suggested some things on the forum. I quite like the idea of like a mats broker. I think we mentioned this before. Not like an auction house in World of Warcraft, not to that extent, but somewhere where you can basically per player go and trade in some mats that you don't want for some mats that you do want.
All right.
I think that would be quite an elegant way of dealing with the problem. It's like, you know, when you just cannot find that one damn thing that you want, that grade 5 mat. You know, even if it costs you 100 of the cheaper mats. And I've lost my piddly shields. I'm really not a fan of these prismatic friggin' stupid. Well, I know it's my fault. I know I've fit the wrong thing on there.
Well, I would also be a lot more effective if I had the right weapons. This is just stupid, really. It's good practice, but
is it fixed plasma accelerator rails you're running? Is it, or
it's all fixed? Yeah.
I was tempted to go fixed as well, but I think I would get absolutely mullered at the moment. Like I said, I'm so far out of practice.
This is actually the first time I'm flying this thing effing off, to be honest.
It's good. It's good practice. It's all good practice. And again, this is the problem with the damn prismatics as well, is they're so ridiculously OP in terms of like megajoule capacity on there that they take forever to recharge. OMG! Again, that's the thing that people forget about the Biweaves, isn't it? Is that the beauty is not their strength; it's the fact that they come back so quick.
Very quickly.
There we go. Right, I'm going to leave that parked up for a second to restock. What did I miss in the chat? Imperial Eagle for the win. It is. I like the eye eagle. It's very, very, very nice. Triple 3P is a ship sizes in VR. Oh damn! Yes, it unbelievable the sense of scale you get in that. I did see there was a really nice video on the forum. Unfortunately, I don't have the link to hand, but this week someone posted up a video on the forum of getting out an EVA by using the external cam.
Yeah.
Did you see? You seen that?
I saw that. Yeah.
Really, really good. Yeah. Using the vanity camera to stand outside the ship and look at it. It really does kind of give you that sense of scale when you look at that. You know, crazy. HSO, are you telling me I haven't built up any sway? No, I'm not telling you I haven't built up any sway. Just not that much. Zaranel, mats broker or synthesizing mats from other mats would be nice. Yeah, this is something that I've touched on before, and I had mentioned it directly to Sandy actually last time I spoke to him, was the idea of being able to take the various things like the you have the flawed focus crystals, and then you could have refined focus crystals and exquisite ones. A couple of the mats definitely seem to have this kind of chain of progression where you could sacrifice 10 of one to get one of the next one up, sort of thing. They definitely appear to have that. And I don't think Sandy will mind me saying, but it was something that he did consider as part of the design. But I think it just got left on the cutting room floor and pushed to the side because it was possible, but there are too many other variations that just don't work. Like you can't turn selenium into ruthenium. It just there's no way that's really gonna work. So I think something like the idea of a materials broker makes more sense. You know, you could go and sacrifice 10 grade 4 mats to get one grade 5 mat of something. You know, I think that would be nice.
Definitely, yeah. Yes.
You know,
I'd like that.
Yeah, I think it'd be handy. You know, and if the only way you can get what you want to do is to go and get 1,000 sulfur from the surface somewhere, it's like, yes, but I've got it, and now I can go up to get like one of those things, like a couple of levels up. It would be nice. It would be nice to have. Reboot repair. Yes, sorry. Thank you for.
If there's one thing that really sets me off is the whole high grade emissions. I hate trying to find high grade emissions. I really don't like it.
The high, what, like elite level?
Yeah, so things like Imperial shielding or one of those things, they just take forever to find.
Yeah, and there's certain things you can do to increase the probability of it happening by going to certain systems in certain states, and I think for the high grade ones, I think you kind of have to fly outside of the shipping lanes out into, a couple of 100 light seconds away from the main area and things like that. So there's a couple of things you can do, but again, it's all just kind of like increasing the probability slightly. You're not guaranteeing that you're going to get the thing that you're looking for, and it's kind of frustrating. It's one of those things that I really hope Elite kind of, I don't know how they're going to do it, but kind of polishes the edges on it, make it a little bit more that you follow a breadcrumb trail to get to it. And this was a thing I was talking about last week about the geological features on the surface, and kind of hoping that more of that is used to kind of encourage players to it's like if you go to this particular area, then there's going to be a higher probability. If you do this particular thing, it's going to narrow that search down and kind of guide you in to that. Because that's the problem that the game have got, is the scale of it is so vast, it's so enormous. And a lot of it is empty space. That's just what space is. It's just all of this empty space. It's trying to get players focused down to that tiny, tiny little area. That is the hardest thing. That's the hardest challenge that Frontier have got. I think they've done a pretty good job of doing it so far. I mean, there's things like this. Has-res sites, obviously. Could you imagine if it was realistic in the way that ring systems are? I mean, let's think about this logically for a while. We've got this planet here, and I mean, there we go. I'm half a light second away from it. So this ring, we're somewhere in the middle of this ring, and this ring is, it's measured in fractions of a light second in diameter. It's ridiculous. The sheer scale of this, the probability of bumping into a ship which has just randomly gone into an area of a ring system, it's infinitesimal. It's tiny, isn't it? It's like, it would never happen. It would really never happen. So then when I see people saying the things like, when you drop in somewhere on a ring system, and then after a couple of seconds you start to see contacts on the radar, don't you?
Yeah,
now,
true.
I mean, let's be realistic about it. Okay, that's gamey. It's obviously some mechanic in the background which just has a timer counting down, and then ping, it starts spawning ships. Okay, great. But it's trying to present gameplay possibilities to you. It's trying to give things for you to do. And it's like they're trying to, like I said, they're trying to narrow that focus. They're trying to bring things into you. Okay, it might not be realistic. It might, dare I say it, break people's immersion. But it's like, it's the game. It's trying to present things to you so you have, some fun activities you can do. And you can always fly in and you can boost off in the opposite directions. You don't see any more people spawning from that location, or you can go to an area which is a system which is off the beaten path, away from humanity, and the next, you won't see any of these ships around there. And that's the way you've got to kind of look at these things. Is all of these ideas are put in there to make it more kind of bring the gameplay to the player.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I waffled on a little bit. Sorry on that. Rormar, yes, greetings. A wild crash appears. Yes, I'm trying to get back on the saddle as best I can. Family issues, kind of pending, basically. I spot ship kit on a further lance. Oh, have you got a ship kit on, Aramis?
I do indeed.
Oh.
Is that not good?
I just see there is an Andy Pipkin saying it's like blasphemy.
Really? Oh, I'm sorry, Andy. But it was a gift, and I quite like it, so...
Yeah, I do.
Oh, shit, I've shot the wrong ship. Get out, Crash! Run away!
Brave Sir Aramis ran away.
I done messed up there.
It's kind of like that. It's like that Ferrari purist thing, isn't it? Oh, you couldn't possibly, change the subtle curves and.
Gee, I'm sorry, Andy.
We're all good.
You're going to be on your own for a second here, Crash.
Oh, yep. No worries. I'm jumping out now anyway. What I might do, we'll head back to the station.
I can't because I'm wanted.
Oh, okay, no worries. I'm going to head back to the station then really quickly, because as Stephen Usher was saying there, picking up from what we were just saying, he'd like to see the system-wide scanner from FFE in there. And on that subject, I have it in the background running now. So yeah, we will jump on to a bit of first encounters in a second, because I want to carry on with what we were talking about last week, actually. But you say there, Stephen, about the system-wide scanner. Are you referring to the nav computer? I believe that's what you mean. Correct me if I'm wrong. XOG's carrying on from our point there. No matter where you drop into in a ring, you always have a few ships follow you in. You mine away from the zones in the ring, so no NPCs, but always get those few ships when you drop in. Yeah, because it's basically a gameplay mechanic. There's a hidden timer in the background. It basically says, well, like I said, based on where you are, what system you're in, if it's near populated space, then, the probability of ships spawning, what kind of ships there'll be, what's the state of the system. There's all this stuff going on in the background that people don't appreciate is actually happening. And it's all just to kind of present you with some fun options and things going on. In Vergari. Stephen, yes. What's that saying? Help you find ships. Yes, you saw ships as different color blobs. Yeah, that was in the ore review, wasn't it? You could go into the ore review for the current system, and you tend to see like the different blobs coming in. And they're usually all of them converging on your location in space. It's like, yep, there's about 4 pirates coming my way. This is going to be a good run. But yeah, there was a couple of things in there which definitely made that work for you. I mean, that's kind of the thing with Super Cruise, really, is it does a lot of that stuff for you now. So it's kind of like that, balancing the tools with the gameplay opportunities that are presented to you.
Yeah.
Because this is the funny thing. I mean, a lot of people talking about wanting to include things in the game. It was quite a heated discussion. Again, I saw somewhere online earlier this week talking about the whole third-party tools and everything, like having to have all of these things outside the game. And I think it's that trade-off, isn't it? It's like, you don't need these tools. If you want to min-max and you want to be the best at something, then yeah, you're probably going to need some of these tools to help you figure it out. That was it. It was on Twitter earlier on today, so apologies for getting that. But and the point was, it was like, having to well, no, that wasn't the point. But I was saying is like, people have these tools, and it's like, well, I had this. I had a notepad, and that was my external tool for Frontier.
Yeah.
That did the trick. And it's like, if you want to be the best at it, then yeah, you probably are going to need external tools. And the tricky thing that Frontier got is they don't want to say no to external tools, but they don't want to add all of the functionality of these tools directly into the game, because it effectively removes all of the challenge.
Yes. Although, something like the trade information in game, that's just way out of whack. You can't effectively trade this information you find in game, in my experience at least.
Yeah.
Perhaps I'm doing it wrong. I don't know, but
no. I mean, there definitely is room for improvement. There's some things that would be nice to do. That is some of the things which is going to be coming in Beyond is improvements to the galaxy map with different heat maps and offering different views and things to make that a lot easier to find. So that there is room for improvement. I think there's some things that could be clearer.
Yeah.
But I think when it goes down to the degree of some of the tools out there you can get, where you can literally punch in a material and you get the closest planet to you with the highest level of it, and and all that kind of stuff, and it's like kind of just completely removes the point of searching and trying to find these things, and takes away that opportunity to encourage you to go and explore and discover and things like that. So it's like it's trying to find that balance of giving you the stuff so you can kind of have a fair gameplay experience and you can get what you want, but at the same time not removing the challenge.
Yeah.
Zarinel saying that Coriolis and Friends was incredibly helpful when starting out. Yeah, I must admit, Coriolis.io is a really good website, and I've sat there a couple of times and thought that it'd be really nice to be able to outfit in game without having to sacrifice credits all the time. And it's like you almost want to have the ability to toy around with it with not having to commit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, then you also have what your goal is, what you have to aim for, so you can prepare.
Yeah. Time Ruse says, don't use external tools before to find the stuff in the game, and that's the thing that Frontier don't want to make it so easy that people just click button, play game, done, sorted. They want to try and leave it so that it's up to you as a player to make that decision to what challenges do you want.
Well, also, I think one important point is, some people just don't have the amount of time that others might have to play the game, and then these tools are useful just to cut down on that time, but still be able to enjoy the game,
Yeah, absolutely. That is kind of the, like I said, that's the thing. They want to try and do a bit more in Beyond to make it a bit more accessible to players that don't have as much time. But without obviously making it so damn easy that the players with loads of time then kind of get bored because things just go. It's like, how do you appeal to such a range of players? It's a ridiculously difficult task, I think. Right, let me cash these in really quickly.
I just realized this is the first time I've had a bounty on my head since 2.4, and it's galaxy-wide.
Dun, dun, dun. It is now, isn't it? Yeah, that is sort of obviously the crime and punishment system has changed considerably.
So now I have to try and sneak into the station.
See, it presented you with possibilities, and gameplay just came out of it. There you go. These things happen. Couple of things in the chat quickly before we go over. Stephen, it would be nice to have an in-game log of locations, what you found. I mean, you can do that with some of the bookmarks, but if you're talking about like surface features, geological, yes, I'd like to be able to pin Latin long positions directly on the surface. That would be nice to be able to bookmark those.
Are they including a codex soon?
Yes, yeah, that's one of the things coming in Elite Dangerous Beyond, and that is one of those kind of features, is to kind of keep track of your achievements, the things you've done, the places you've been, all that kind of stuff, but also kind of give you a little bit of a breadcrumb trail, this kind of idea that, you've done this and this. It's like, well, what the next thing might be to do this, so I think kind of push you in different directions, so you kind of know what's there, you know what to find.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, XRG's just said, yeah, sorry, yep, I'm answering the questions. Yes,
That's what you're there for, Crash.
yes. Mitsoyama saying it's good that Frontier leaves some room for these third-party tools, helps build a community. That's one of the reasons why they don't want to like just take over. They don't want to do the Microsoft thing and just kind of assimilate all the things, take all the great ideas from the community and just kind of like throw it all into the game. It's like, right, yeah, and in the process kill off dozens of third-party tools. I mean, that would be a real kind of shame to see Coriolis.io and Inara.cz and all these great sites that have cropped up just suddenly be effectively redundant because Frontier have brought the functionality into the game. And it's a double-edged sword. It's like, and other people might argue and complain that it should be in the game, and OMG, and it's like, well, yeah, but it's like trying to find that balance and not upsetting people. It's impossible task, but
yeah, I mean, these people have put an awful lot of time into these kind of things, so you're basically throwing that away. That would suck.
Yeah, and I think Frontier have proven that they do want to listen to the third party guys. They are trying to help them. They've made quite a lot of improvements in 2.4 to the API backend and stuff like that. And they are actively trying to work with these guys, but it's like they are pulled in every direction. Everybody wants a piece of Frontier's time. They all want things done. Everyone wants this done, this done. Everyone's got an idea in their mind of the ultimate version of the game and the things that matter to them, the points that they want to be improved on and stuff like that. And when you've got like 100,000 people all pulling you in different directions, it's almost an impossible task to keep everyone happy.
Indeed.
It is. Rightio. Shall we... What are we looking at? It's... Crikey, it is already 9:15. So what do you reckon? Should we quickly skim over the newsletter and then jump into first encounters? I'll leave it...
Sorry, you said quickly skim over the newsletter? That doesn't exist.
You know me. Yeah, you know me too well. I'll leave it up to the chat. I'm just going to read a couple of things. Zarno said, a scenario created like in RTSs would be nice. Give you a combat scenario and load out in 2 enemy first.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to have the input into the team, I could see that as being a possibility. Being able to directly edit it in game, that's talking into like mod territory. That's
next level stuff, right?
Yeah, that's like, wow. Yes, I would love that, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. It would be really, really cool, and definitely to be able to talk to the team and say, hey, I've got an idea for a particular gameplay scenario. That would be cool.
Yeah, indeed.
But chuck it on the suggestions thing. Yeah, I mean, if you've got ideas for things like that, put it up on the suggestions area. The guys would very much appreciate it, I think.
They do read that stuff,
Just really, have they put engineering back into the journal so it works with Coriolis? Very good question, my friend. Where is my journal log? Log. No, it doesn't go there, does it? Oh, I forget the path. Try to find it. Nope. Failing. Forget where the journal is hosted. Nope. Products. Elite. Nope, not there. I forget where it is, Jester. Use data to save games. That's the one. Now we use it. Save it. There it is. The problem is my install dates back to the friggin' alpha, so it's like I've got like the folders in all the different places that makes no sense, and it's like, why is it installing an application into that directory? I don't know. I don't know whether or not I can't see anything in the location. I don't know whether it's back in there or not. Again, this is another one of those ones where they've got this real tough problem where people are asking for certain details to go into the journal, and there are valid and good reasons why people would want that information, and they're valid concerns, and it would be great if it had the exquisite detail of absolutely every action you're doing listed in there. It would be great, and I know Frontier want to support it, but usually when it doesn't show up, it's because there's some silly little potential for exploitation which they can't elect. It's so frustrating because it spoils fun for everyone else effectively, because someone could use it to be naughty.
Yeah, exactly.
You find that always happens. HSA combat zones between the Thargoids and the Fed empires with capital ships, multiple Thargoids. See, you make these suggestions, but, you know, maybe it will come soon. Zarnel say, yeah, the market data connection seems to be exporting the engineering data. Okay, so it looks like that's been patched back in. Right, let's get the newsletter 198. Let's get that up on there for everyone. I believe we have the gobbly linky for everyone to follow along at home as we do. Yes. And I believe we've touched on a little bit of this already because we have the Halloween pack, obviously, is the big thing from the top there. But I do like this. This was a nice little touch on there. These space pumpkins, which, you know, I like the nice little touches. And again, we'll get onto some of this with first encounters in a minute. But the you know, it's by the Mick Turner research base there. Space pumpkins, you know, nice subtle little hint to the things that are going on in the game. I won't speculate too much, but you know, fungus, mycoid.
What?
What's that? What? I don't know. Don't know what you're talking about. I get, you know, it makes me laugh. This whole kind of breadcrumb trail is like sometimes people don't even see the breadcrumbs. But so in the spirit of Halloween this week, we've got a couple of community goals going on. Actually, let me bring them up on there. The apple bobbing community goals on there. Trade and combat one bounty vouchers, I think it is. So you got delivering fruit and veg, beer, and is it clothing? I forget where it is now. Yeah, there we go. Fruit and veg, clothing and beer to Patterson's Vision in the LHS 2094 system. And then to coincide that, we got the contributing bounty hunting goal going alongside as well. Which
the bounty hunting ones always seem to go up quicker. Yeah.
They are always more popular.
Yeah.
And this was another thing I touched on about MSB can appreciate it. It's actually because I was talking about having a spreadsheet for tracking these things. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you always see it as like certain types of activities, certain types of events, like they are always more popular, always happens, you know, always kind of gathers more contributors and stuff like that. So Mr. Junks is claiming it's a Thargoid outhouse. Well, you know, when you gotta go, you gotta go. What's that student? Apple bobbing is it a British thing? I thought apple bobbing was more of an American kind of.
Kids try to drown themselves.
Yes,
but it's true. It's true.
It is true. It's true. And that screenshot there was from Commander Fourth Dimension Chest. Interesting name. Again, the spotlight as well. Like I said, I've grabbed a couple of these decals on there, which is nice. These nice emissive ones. And in true forum fashion, as soon as these are put up on there, and everyone's like, "These are great," but people are asking like, "Can we have emissive paint on all of the other decals now?" Which is like, well. Yeah, it might take some time. It might take some time to do that, but it would be nice to have. Definitely. It is nice. Yeah, Triple B's in it. I want the back. There's some good ones on there. Just the slashes, like, you know, the claw marks is something that's kind of. You could use that all year round, I think. That's not particularly Halloween-y. And of course, the Jack-o'-lantern bubble head, which. That thing does seem to bobble a lot more than a regular ship, I think. Yeah.
I hadn't noticed that, but okay.
It does. I don't know whether it's just because it's taller or something. It just seems to flap about quite a lot. And the other things I know, we got the Imperial Cutter now has the pulse paint back on there. It's like,
nice.
Because I've just unlocked the cutter. So want, need. Well, I don't need, but want still. I do want. Timer, some people are never satisfied. It's like I said, everyone's got a different idea in their mind of what is the perfect thing for them, and everyone's always going to be pushing for their particular vision. You know, all that Frontier can do is kind of aim down the middle and try and please the majority. I think that's all they can do.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Yeah. These things happen. Oh, sorry, let me get rid of that screen. We don't want to be seeing the Galnet. Ooh, there we go. And where did I put it? There it is. So Galnet focus. Now this is an interesting little snippet. I'm gonna read this one out because this is very how can I put it? Topical at the moment. Capital ships are vulnerable to Thargoid attack. Admiral Aidan Tanner has addressed reports of the capital ships being destroyed by the Thargoids, saying that although the shutdown field neutralizer developed by Aegis is capable of protecting small ships, we have encountered difficulties adapting the technology to larger spacecraft. Dun dun dun. So
yeah, I have no idea what that means.
yeah. So you know, obviously, they affect the larger ships, the capital ships. I wonder if that affects other things like megaships and
other large things.
Stations.
Did you just say station, Crash?
I can neither confirm nor deny anything about, you know, things which have been shown prevalently in various trailers and in lots of other locations that people should have picked up on by now. But yes, maybe. XOG says, so does the shutdown field nutrition not work in the cutter and the corvette? Oh no, it does work, XOG. Yeah, sorry, it's just kind of it's hinting at this idea that these utility things are only going to be useful for player ships, basically. So for you know, outposts and mega ships and capital ships and things like that. Basically, the shutdown field is not going to work. So you know, if they can come in and they can shut down the weapon systems, then that leaves it wide open, doesn't it?
Yes.
HS303 there. Evacuate! Run away! Run away! Colonia is just a jump away for the Thargoids. I mean, you know, take us a day.
True, yeah. I want to get their tech.
I would love their jump technology. Yes. It's just not going to comment.
Damn it!
You try in the yeah. Try docking Thargoid. Well, tell you what. Actually, I'm gonna put a hold on the newsletter. Then let's put this one to the side. As 333 said that, docking a Thargoid, because that is very, very on topic for this first encounters. So, as we touched on this last week, we were looking at the trying to get to the missions for the Turner's Quest, the Argent. Oh, hang on. It's Argent's Quest, isn't it? It's the Turner class ship. Sorry, getting my terminology mixed up. But here we have the first thing. So the first quest you get for this particular part of the storyline in First Encounters is the to head out to the Pleione system, which is obviously in the Pleiades. It does make me laugh, actually. It's like when you look at that, it's like the Pleione. It's like how does that correlate with what we've got now? When you look at like Maya and all that stuff, it's like, you know, why was it in a potentially different system? What's the? It's got my mind kind of a buzz of all of the possibility. You know, why is there this? There's a correlation. There's definitely something there. David likes the idea of using the Pleiades in the storylines, but at the same time, there are all these kind of slight variations in what they're trying to do. So, But anyway, I digress. So the first thing is to head out to the Pleiades. Everyone would be glad to know that, yes, I have done a bunch of save games in the various locations, because it takes forever. I mean, you look at this, it's out 3232, and obviously the Sol system is in 00, which is there, and it doesn't look that far, but when you've got a jump range of about 2 or 3 of these squares, it takes a long time to get out there, I must admit. I did it earlier this week, and it takes a long time.
Just a question there from
Yes.
Kamiru, I think it is. So you have to deliver fruit and vegetables to the LHS 2094 system.
Yes, absolutely right. Let me go ahead. I'll bring that up on the screen really quickly. So there are two simultaneous community goals. One of them is basically defend the traders by handing bounty vouchers, and then you've got the main one for the trade goal here, which is on the screen. Earn rewards by delivering fruit and vegetables, clothing, and beer to the Patterson Vision dock on the LHS 2094 system.
There you go.
Sure did.
Sorry, Crash. I just wanted to help.
No, that's fine. No, that's it's there on the screen for everyone as well. So, catch up on the track there. HSA, I'd love their shutdown pulse, taking that into PvP against PvC. Well, you say that, HS, it is kind of possible. Very difficult to do, but it is kind of possible. If you had a discovery scanner and an unknown probe, you could theoretically do that. Because that's effectively what happens when you do the discovery scanner on an unknown probe. It charges up and fires off that shutdown pulse.
True, but there's also an engineer mod that does it. It's happened to me many times that PvP situation, some guy in a courier jumps in and boom, my ship's just dead in space. Like, right, how did he do that?
Awesome. T. Corkins just bought me his Crash confirms the ability to use Thargoid tech. Off to Reddit. Yeah, yes. I put the speculation banner up. I'm covered on that. But
you're covered.
See, this is the I'm gonna put this up. When we go to the 815 screen really quickly. See, this is something which I've always thought is a little bit of a nod. I mean, particularly if you go back in the original books and you look at the point in time where hyperspace technology was developed and the history of it, and kind of it's very shady. There's a lot of like unknowns and stuff. But the one thing that I really like, it kind of points to this thing. When you look at the icon here, sorry, I can't really make it much bigger for anyone. But when you look at the icon of the FSD, and you've got that kind of that central cylindrical blob there in a shape.
I see what you get.
There you go, yeah. And then you've got the little fins off the back, like the little pods that are sticking out on the back of it. That looks like an unknown artifact, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Just like that. And I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, we've just reverse engineered their tech, haven't we? That's what's happened. We have found some of their stuff floating around and we've reverse engineered it. That is my... That's I'm sticking to that.
That's unbelievably observant of you, Crash. Like little details like that, I skip that crap all the time. And you said that, I'm like, oh shit, he's right.
Now I must admit, I've not had that confirmed. That is entirely speculation. I should just leave the speculation up on there. XRG saying that's lore now because I was too slow to put the speculation banner up on there. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, look at it. Yeah, it's like there's all these things pointing at that being true, and I reckon it is anyway.
Well seen, Crash. Well seen.
Zarna, so we're probably making a mess of their motors. Well, this was the thing that I posted up on there. Someone was saying about the lights that come flying past when you're going through hyperspace now. That's what I said. Yeah. We're basically going the wrong way down Thargoid motorways. It's no wonder they're hyperdicting us. I mean, come on. It's the Thargoid police pulling us over.
Or Thargoids with road rage. Who knows?
Exactly, yeah. It's like, we do it. But let's get back in it. Yes, so I've got it selected there. So we have the Alioth system is the center of the Alliance in First Encounters. Now this is obviously in 04. So you go to this location, you get the here we go. You get it from, where is it? I will find it in a second. Is it a surface? Yeah, there we go. It's a surface one, yeah. So you get it from the starport, the new Rosith starport. It has to be past the 5th of October and the year 3252, because that was the way that the mission system worked in First Encounters. Effectively, it had like time-based triggers in there. So based on the game time, which you can see right here in the game time, is a little past October the 14th there. So there was in-game timers. They would tick over to a certain period of time, and then basically there were triggers that would make those missions appear on the bulletin board. And the thing that makes me laugh actually is going back at this, and people forget this. You had all these. Oh, I haven't got the. I'm not docked, so I can't get the things. You had all these like issues of the various articles from the news feeds in the galaxy. This is an embryonic Galnet. You know,
Wow.
this, you know, and it's like when you go back and you look at this, it's like, how can people sit there and be mad at the fact that there's things in the game now and it's like, oh, but we, you know, it's like there's all this text and it's like, this is what we have. This is the game that Frontier, you know, they were gonna make. You know, it's.
Oh yeah,
we can't,
definitely.
There's so many parallels with things. You know, when they started the Kickstarter, the thing they wanted to do, they wanted to continue the franchise. They wanted to build a sequel to the games that come before. They wanted to reimagine and reboot the 84 version of Elite, effectively.
Yeah.
These were all these things. So to expect anything other than what we saw in these previous games, I think, is just crazy. You know.
Well, I think it's also a testament to like the vision that David Braben and Ian Bell had back then, like 1984. So it's hard to imagine what they actually had in their minds, like what the game was going to be like. And I think, you know, what we've got now is impressive by any standards, but compare it to what we saw back then. Obviously, you know, massive graphical improvement, but the base game is still there.
Yes, absolutely. It's. I fired the wrong missile. Duh. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. Fired a different kind of missile at it rather than the nuclear missile. Oops. There we go. There we go. Yeah, they definitely had the you know, this crazy vision in their mind. They knew exactly what they wanted it to be, and you know, it's nice now that the technology is caught up with that imagination, I think.
Yeah. It's only taken like
like 25 years, you know. That's yeah. It's crazy on there. Exo, do you think Universal Scientist, the precursor to canon research? Zarano, yeah, you got a very good point there. Actually, yeah, one of the good things about the way that it worked in First Encounters, where you had all these different viewpoints. So you had like the Imperial Herald, the Federal Times. You know, all these different kind of like independent ones as well. So there was kind of multiple takes on the same events on there, which was nice. So it kind of gave you that less biased view of things going on. So what people notice, I just did that. I've blown up the military satellite that was in that system. That's an interesting thing, which didn't really make it into Elite Dangerous, is the idea of some systems being locked off via a satellite. That effectively, I mean, that thing is like a kilometre wide. It's absolutely huge when you get up close to it. But effectively, if you manage to somehow get to the Pleione system ahead of time and got into it, you get a warning from a military source saying, you know, get out of the system, basically, and then after about 30 seconds, that's it, you're dead. No ifs, no buts, that's it, you're dead. You're not supposed to be here. It's only at certain key points when you have the Turner class ship that you can jump into the system, and then you get there's a module you can get, which I forget what it's called now. I don't think it's going to show up on here because it's too big. Too many lines of text on the screen. I can't show it all on the interface. But yeah, there's something you can get, which is like a signal jammer for the satellite. Stephen Ashton, yeah, small pop for a big object. Again, it's like we're so spoilt by graphical effects these days. It's like we forget what it used to be like, you know. And it's like that's it. Most with the ships, you tend to see a little orange sphere or pop, you know, and that's it. Yay! You've blown up a ship. Hey, you know, that's what we're used to.
Back then, it was impressive.
Yeah, it was also. It's like whoa! It's like layered spheres on top of each other, and it's like an explosion. It expands, and it's like oh. HS, yeah, sorry, there was a theory, yes. Every Thargoid interdiction, the Thargoid tags the ship, the Thargoid fine, we have to pay. No one has paid their fines, so now the Thargoid police is coming after us, and the security ships go after those fines we've turned into bounties. It totally makes sense, yes, that's what it is. It's 200 years worth of unpaid fines for going the wrong way through hyperspace, and, you know, there we go.
That must be it, yep.
Humanity must pay up. We're gonna pay up.
And they're doing something wrong, because when you kill a Thargoid, you get like 2 million credits. So
yes. Yeah, it's like whoops. Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. Although I think I paid more than that in rebuy, but yeah, never mind that. Transmission jammer, that's the one. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, so the idea was you get in there, you can go to the military satellite there, you could drop a nuke at it. The frustrating thing is the only way to get a nuke was to take on a mission which gave you a nuke, like a separate mission, you know, and instead of using that nuke to complete the mission you accepted, you kind of stole it and brought it to do naughty things. That was the way of the game. You could never buy nukes, and I kind of understand why they never made it into Elite Dangerous, because they're too destructive, they're too big, they're too OP. And can you imagine people going around and just like bombing cities, and then suddenly we have no starports to land at because they've all been destroyed by griefers? You know? So, it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work in a multiplayer game.
Swiss Tony, I think that children are completely not impressed by graphics these days. They take everything for granted.
Yeah.
Judging by my own kids' reactions to stuff, to be honest, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think in a lot of ways it's malicious. It's just that kind of the level of expectation has increased to that stage, hasn't it?
Oh,
it's like, it's like the more you get, the more you expect, and then you get that and you expect more and you expect more. You're always kind of like pushing the boat out in terms of what you want.
Well, so I had a discussion with other people today about the fact that children these days in school have, they've all got smartphones. Mobile phones weren't even like a thing when I was at school. So
yeah, it's insane, isn't it? Absolutely insane. I'm just gonna scooch around this one.
So this should be fine. That's true, XLG.
Ooh, I need to get a little closer. Difficult to get
flying
closer.
FA off there, Crash.
I was FA off, yeah. I bounced off the hill. There we go. Yeah, so this is the what's left of Mick Turner's ship out in the Pleione system. So there's a couple of little bits and pieces you can go to in this system. And I want to bring up the map really quickly. So this was the thing we were talking about earlier on, is this idea, this you get the orrery view of the system here, where you can kind of zoom in on things. And if I zoom out a little bit, so you initially come into the system, you're focused on the star Pleione here, and you can't really see anything, but if you start zooming around and going onto certain things, eventually you get to the point where it's like, well, actually, you can see little dots and things, and there we go. Suddenly you get the things. You can see the orbit lines. There's the military satellite that I just destroyed in that orbit ring there, and then we've got these things here. We've got Turner's Quest there as a targetable thing, and then we've got question mark sat there. And see, there is the problem that I think that we have with this idea of, if it's so completely obvious, it ruins some of the exploration. There almost wants to be something like when you look at what we've got now in Elite Dangerous, you can go into a system, you can get discovery, scan, you honk, and then you kind of get little things pop up, and then when you approach, it kind of narrows it down, and then if you approach a certain planet, beacons and things start to show up in certain locations. I think that's a much better system than what we used to have. Because here, effectively, it's like you jump into the system. If you know where to look, you can go straight there. Boom, done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But here we go. So yeah, so this is the what's left of Mick Turner's thing, and it's absolutely surrounded by various bits and pieces. And then of course we've got the flight recorder, which I'm lazy, and I'm gonna just jump to a save game where I have picked it up.
When have you played all this gameplay, Crash?
In my lunch break. hey, it's gotta keep busy. So yeah, so I'm gonna target lock off that one. And you can see this is the question mark we were talking about earlier on. If I can get around it. We can see it is roughly Thargoid shaped. You can see the octagon shape there from that angle, but with a massive chunk taken out of the side, basically, absolutely decimated. So obviously they had a little bit of a Barney going on there. And another thing I noticed, which was really interesting, I'm going to try and do this now if this works. I apologise if this crashes brutally. It may do. Where is... There it is. Current ship. There we go.
I don't think my potato can handle these visuals.
It's so many pixels. There's too many pixels, right? This is an interesting little thing. Oh, sorry. This is an interesting little thing that I completely forgot about as well. Again, this is another theory. I'm really going to need to... I'm going to wear it at the speculation banner tonight, I think. When you look at the Turner class vessel, you can see with this now, it's got a wagging tail. It is human, like, kind of technology. You can see like the nacelles on it, the shape of it, and things like that. It's very much a kind of like a human design, but the tail wags. It's like it's a hybrid. You know what I mean?
Weird.
And as it's the only ship in the game which has like a ridiculously capable jump range, it's got a class 4 military drive on it. It's absolutely crazy jump range. It kind of fits into that kind of crazy... I know it's like massive speculation, like I put speculation banner up on there again. But the idea, first of all, is like military fuel is manufactured rather than gathered from fuel scooping. So it has to be some special kind of fuel that they're using. Plus, this appears to be kind of like hybrid semi-organic stuff. So to me, it feels like it's technology they've stolen and they've kind of reverse engineered. They've got it, tried to put it together with human tech.
Yeah, exactly.
And it kind of fits into that whole kind of like when you look at like the 84 version, you're like the Quirium fuel that they used to use back then, and they lost the technology for that. And going into this now, this really does to me feel like it's kind of stolen Thargoid tech again that they're using to kind of merge things and make a hybrid.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
interesting point.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, my point. Sorry, I thought you found something in the chat. Sorry, saying crashing brutally, never. Luckily, this is a heavily patched version, so it works quite well. Mr. Junk saying it. What's with the wagging tail? Yeah, that's it is. I shall leave it to people to speculate away. And that's the best bit. I can put the Star Dreamer on, and now it looks like a happy little puppy. We can speed it up. So the other thing in this, those are the first bits of quests there. Of course, the idea is you get the flight recorder, and then you bring it back to the Alioth system, so that they can do whatever research is, and then obviously there's a little bit of time period in between that as well. You go off, carry on doing your normal in-game activities, and then a little while later you get the next part of the quest. How are we doing for time, actually, Ian? Because you need to shoot off at 5:30, I believe.
Oh, we're fine. We're fine.
Okay.
It won't take me long to get set up. So.
Okie dokie. So the next, I've got a million save games on here to do. So there we go. So yeah, so you get the quest to bring that back to Alioth, and then you eventually get a quest where they effectively give you the the Thargoid the mycoid missile to go and destroy the Thargoids, and you get sent all the way over to the Polaris system, which that's that's another interesting one, and this is something which I thought was quite fun to look at. If I get this, I can't move it around. But if you can imagine from this view here, Sol system is kind of roughly down at the bottom center here. You got Polaris at the top. You got the Pleiades off to the right there. You got Betelgeuse for reference over there, and all of the locations around on there. And if I go into Elite Dangerous really quickly. And we try and get the same view. Now the problem we got is when you look at it on the map, you got the Sol over there, you got Polaris, you got there's Maroc down there roughly. The problem is nothing really matches up with the map from First Encounters. It's like it's all completely off, and then people are looking at it and going, it's like, oh well, it's they've completely redone it. But and bear with me on this one. If we literally turn these markers off so we can see what's going on. If we flip things on their head, turn the galaxy map so you're looking up through it from the base. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And now look at what you've got on this here. Suddenly, we've got Sol at the bottom. We've got the Pleiades off to the right. We've got Polaris in the correct location. Suddenly, it doesn't seem so crazy.
Interesting.
It's like, if that's right, then we could kind of figure out, because I believe some people might know this, the Beta Lyrae system was supposed to be the contact system, where there was a contact binary there and things like that. So I think some of that actually correlates.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I have to agree with that.
So, there's so much speculation on tonight's show. It's great. It's a cornucopia of speculation.
Speculate away, as far as I'm concerned.
So that's another interesting little tidbit there. So this next part now. So obviously they sent you to the Polaris system. They sent you off with the clear instructions of basically blowing up the Goids. That's basically what you have to do. But of course, we all know there was two possible variations on how you could do it. So you could turn around, you could end up effectively, I don't say teaming up with them, but you could side with them. So you can kind of. I'm going to try and get close to this thing. I apologize if I crash into it. Once you get into the Polaris system, there's this massive great ship, which is very much Thargoid shaped with a smegging great hole in the side, basically, which you can dock with. It is actually a dockable ship, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, a little bit of a bang there. Sorry. I love the way you get clearance granted. You get the usual kind of docking messages. You even get like the ship interface with launch request and all that stuff. But if I go ahead and undock, everyone can see now on my scanner that there's suddenly a whole bunch of stuff. And where is it? There we go. There we go. Oh. Okay, that Thargoid just bounced into each other. But there is a... Oh, there it is, over there. So this is the fabled MIAC system. So once you dock with that thing in Polaris, you suddenly get thrown. You can recenter the map. There you go. You get thrown 37-144 way from where you were on the Polaris system. So you dock with it, you get thrown halfway across the galaxy, which is like all the way up over there somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and see if we can dock with this thing. I'm going to leave that going in the background. So from what we were saying, that logic we were saying earlier on about the fact that it's like this is way up past over in the Polaris sort of region.
Yeah.
If we go back to Elite, now that for me would put that somewhere over in this direction. I don't know whether that's right, but that's where we start to fall apart, because that is the complete opposite direction to what we found. Like, you know, everyone's assuming Barnard's Loop is the location where things are going down because it got permit locked at something. But I might just have a little, head out in this rough direction and kind of have a little poke around there, see if there's anything which shows up. I'll jump back in the Asp one day. We'll have a look at that.
One day. So many things.
Too many things to do.
I think all the stuff you mentioned just from this stream is enough to fill about 3 weeks of gameplay.
I know. There's so many things. Here we go. So let's go ahead. We're going to dock with this this Thargoid space station now. Oh, crikey, look at that.
Ooh.
And I believe... I'm not sure whether they... If I just time accelerate a little bit. Might be after like the first... Oh, here we go. There we go. Incoming message from Thargoid Clone Leader. You have been to Pleione and Polaris. We believe that you are here for personal gain. You wish to make an offer that will be in your best interest to accept. If you do not wish to consider this offer, you may request launch as usual, and we will release your ship. You should depart immediately before the Argent Quest becomes terminally infected with Inra mycoid.
Hmm.
So again, interesting. This idea that the Origin Express, which is obviously the ship itself that I'm in, can become infected by the mycoid virus, which they have on the space station. It suggests that this ship is kind of a hybrid. It is kind of, which is nice. Kind of, I like all these little confirmations. It's great. If you intend to stay, you can accept our offer. Please click yes. Message end. This is one of those kind of you can't refuse type things because they will just blow you up.
Yeah, exactly.
So the idea is then that they give you this next little piece and they say to you, right, now you've done this, basically you're going to have to go back and get some stuff first. Go to this base. They've got a hidden base in this particular location in the Hottish system. Hottish. What's this product? It's the time on Friday, May. Next week we'll be saying crash started it. What's it me? I didn't do it.
Yes, you did.
Don't blame me. I blame Aegis. So they basically they say, right, do you want to go destroy the manufacturing facility where the mycoid virus is being created? Rather confusing. So you've got virus, you got all these other bits and pieces, but really it's like mycoid is a fungal thing. It's a fungus. It's this. So the idea that it's somehow there's a lot that's loud in the background. The idea that it's like a virus is rather strange, but we'll just go with it. Lots of mixed terms which make it even more confusing. So that's the next bit. They send you back to the Hottish system, and if I go ahead. Again, I've saved everyone the time, so instead of having to watch me fly all the way back from 34-144, which would literally take an age, I can go ahead and jump to...
Using cheats confirmed.
Well, I did actually go through most of these bits and pieces, and then I kind of I'm going to go get the cheat thing to fill in some of the stuff, because OMG.
Traitor.
Yeah, it's like, it would literally take me weeks to redo it all. And my save games aren't compatible, so I couldn't use it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because it's like a patched version of the PC build. So so this is the final thing when they send you into this thing here. I got this. Let me speed up a little bit. Oh, and I'm getting. Yeah. That is really loud. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. That is very, very loud. So they send you to this ground base, which is where the manufacturing of the mycoid is being done. And I'm getting attacked again. Pirates. Ooh, there we go. I'm getting stream sniped by NPCs. Those pixel. You were saying about the pixely explosions, Arimus. There you go. There's some pixely explosions for you.
That explosion looks better than what I see.
Right, let's try and get. Oh. Have I? If that gets much louder, I'm gonna have to turn it down entirely. Oh! I turned on the autopilot and exploded. Idiot.
Lovely.
Idiot. Right, let me reload my save game. It happens. There we go. So once you get down close to the surface on this thing, luckily I had a backup save game where I'd already got close to the surface. I have done all this. You see, I have got down onto the
impressive.
So they give you the obviously, like you said, you steal a nuclear missile where you shouldn't get it. You find this base on here, and then you go ahead and launch the thing at it. Big explosion, and you've destroyed the mycoid manufacturing facility there, which you could then go down. You can chuck down the MB4 mining machine and suck up a sample of what they were working on, and then go ahead and take that back to the Goids for them to effectively have their vaccine.
I really hope that kind of gameplay is in probably dangerous, to be honest.
Well, I think there's, with some of the things they're trying to kind of bring some of that storyline stuff back in. But like I said, going back to my initial point is that whole kind of, this is what we've had before. So these are the kind of things that we can expect coming. Is this idea of these events which kind of breadcrumb trail these little pieces of storyline piece. Got the wind effects coming in there. Kind of encourage people to go down that path, but of course they have to really do it with something like a community goal type effect, because it has to be something that all players can take part in for a period of time, so that everyone can kind of get an opportunity to be involved in it effectively.
Yeah.
There we go. Just trying to see what the shape of that building is. Just absolutely destroyed. Sorry if I've missed anything in the chat. I was trying to get it all crammed in like 10 minutes on there. NSR, just tuned back in. Can I say question mark? So much to cover. Hopefully, I'm going to put it up on the YouTube channel after, so hopefully we can kind of recap any of it. And if there is any questions and stuff like that, then I think there's plenty to talk about. We can definitely talk about it in upcoming streams and stuff anyway. But so many little things. Like I said, I think the key point is like go back and look at the earlier games, kind of refresh your memory on some of this stuff, and I think it really will start to fill in the gaps of stuff which is coming in.
Yeah. Shan's a good point there. There are no consequences for CGs. They always complete. That's true.
Yeah, this was something. I mean, Zarno mentions this on Twitter as well, and I do see the point on it. Is it does seem frustrating that the goals are up there, and as if you want to oppose them, there's not really much you can do, because you can almost guarantee that the majority of the player base are just going to look at it, see a cash reward, and do it. Yeah. It's like it is very much like Frontier are kind of like steering the game with an on-off switch. It's either it is or it isn't. It is or it isn't. With all of these events that are going on, there's not really any kind of opposing things going on. And we've had a couple of competing community goals. They kind of tested those a little bit in 2.3. There was a few things. I'd love to see more of those happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be nice to have something just off the top of my head, people protesting, fighting against the Thargoids, having that as a community goal, like some propaganda peace sharing community goal. Have that run in combination with a community goal to deliver like weapons to start kitting out things, and then whichever one succeeds first would kind of steer the direction. I would like to see that more, because that definitely gives that kind of like that dichotomy where people have got to make that decision. Do they do the moral thing, or do they do the thing which pays out better? Which is something which Drew mentioned in the Twitter thread that was going on as well. As this kind of like there needs to be this peril, this drama, these characters you can appreciate, all those kind of things. So at the moment, I very much agree with what he was saying. Is this idea that Aegis is very much kind of it's a faceless entity. You can't really feel invested in them. But yeah, I think there definitely needs to be some more goals which give player agency back to us. I think
appreciate a huge amount of dev cost to offer choices. Yeah, especially in this game.
Yeah, what Zaranel was saying there. Yeah, FDev are trying to GM 100,000 players sort of thing. It's not really clear, and clarity is something which I was very much trying to champion in that Twitter conversation that was going on. Was I'm not trying to slam anyone down and say we shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. You can't expect this, you can't expect that. I would like to see more clarity in what the outcomes and the potential possibilities and the goals, what they mean, what the tiers are going. I think that's one of the biggest criticisms we've had about the Aegis community goals so far. Because nobody was really clear on what it meant to get it at the higher tiers, so no one was really interested in pushing it past the tier that it was on. It got to tier 1, it's like, okay, we've unlocked the things now, we're going to get them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, well, two tier, they're a little bit more prevalent, they're in more stations and stuff like that. But that was always going to be the thing. It's like they were always going to be there, but there was no kind of explanation as the fact that where they were going to be or why until you unlock the tier, which I think that needs to be up front. I think the tiers need to demonstrate that that needs to be right there in the UI. If you achieve this, you're going to get that, rather than being if you achieve that, you're going to get something. it's like there's no incentive to chase after it, you know. So that
Sadly.
definitely needs to definitely needs to change. Malachi, yes, Stephen Usher answered that. This is the prequel to Elite Dangerous, believe it or not. Yes, somehow that turned into this. Yeah. And that somehow was a lot of hard effort and graft by a lot of people over many years. It's the new fix for pageification. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, you like the new graphics? All the planets are really colourful. They're just made at about 3 pixels each. There you go. You can't deny it's colourful.
Beigeification. Very good.
So it's you know, I like the idea of community goals, what they represent. I just think they are not as effectively used as they could be yet. I think they need to
Definitely. Same as power play, to be honest. I mean,
it's there. It's there. It's a utility. It's a really cool thing that, you know, I'd like to see it used more. But it's kind of fallen to the wayside in a lot of respects because it's too complicated and people just you know, there's some people out there that really love it, and I get that, you know, it's fantastic that people enjoy it, and I would love to do it more, but even for myself, I just look at it sometimes and it's like it's just too complicated, and I want to log on, I want to have fun, I want to just enjoy it and do stuff like that. If it was easy to coordinate and contribute to some global effort like this, and it's the same with player groups, player factions and things like that. I really like helping out the player groups, but sometimes I log on, it's like I have no idea what activity I can do as an individual to help you succeed. You know, I don't know what your goal is, I don't know what you want to do, I don't know what your plans are, I don't know how to help you achieve that. I just know there's activities in the game that I enjoy doing, and if someone comes and tells me, it's like, oh yeah, if you do missions in this system of this type, it will help us out, I'm like, cool, I'll go do that. Yeah, I'll help. What the game really needs is kind of to present that to you so you can kind of sign up and do it. I'm really, and this, I'm putting the speculation banner up before I go any further with this one. I'm really hoping that that's kind of the idea of like the squadron stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm really hoping that that's kind of idea. It gives that kind of that central place where large groups of players can sit and coordinate and start to share you know, plans and what they want to do and how they want to achieve it and that kind of stuff, because then that becomes a thing where people can really kind of get together and work in large groups to achieve a common goal.
I've got this friend on Discord. He occasionally contacts me with some questions about Elite, and he has this image in his head of somehow expanding Imperial space all on his own. And I've tried to make clear to him, you know, in order to do that, you would have to run hundreds of missions, you know,
literally
just to expand to one system. And I think that's a great example of the scale of the game and the fact that you would have to actually team up with other people to achieve that goal in some sort of reasonable amount of time. I highly doubt you could ever do it on your own, regardless of how many missions you run. Like if you're playing the game 24/7, you know.
And this is the thing I've been trying to say to people from day one. I think if you've got some grand goal that you want to achieve, the only way you're really going to be able to do it in game is to get lots and lots of people together to do that. You know, if every single player group out there could come up with a common goal that they all agreed with and coordinated to do it, it would get done. That's the thing. You know, it's like, I wish there was a way of encouraging more cooperation with these things, and I'm hoping that the Thargoids really push that, you know, common enemy of all of us, so that we all want to do that. But it already feels like there's that kind of like, there's two sides to that coin. Like some people don't want to fight them, some people do want to fight them, and it's kind of like dividing the player base already. But at least it's kind of focusing everyone's effort on one common goal, is to do something with them. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Shan saying, yeah, it would also be a total miracle. Yeah, just to get a handful of people to agree with each other is a nightmare. Yeah.
Hey, Psycho Cow.
Hey, greetings, Commanders. I guess the Drabble show is just finished. Nice to see you all there, my friends. They've got a new hashtag that they're spamming with. Mr. Winnard, I believe it is your birthday, sir, is it not? If I am correct, happy birthday. and I hope
Happy birthday.
things are looking up on your house, sir. I hope things are getting better for you. I have no idea what that hashtag means, and I'm not even gonna. No, not gonna go there.
Spastic eagle. Right.
Not a clue.
Don't worry, I'll say it. We just won't discuss it any further.
Yeah, not a clue. Oh dear. Yeah, so there's so many fun. I've got another. I've got more friends requesting now. I should have to check those later. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I love the idea of what the community goal represents and stuff. I just think that, again, is like that kind of like the utilization of them needs a little bit of TLC. I think definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it will improve. I think coming up with future updates and stuff, and you can see very much so. It's Frontier, they want to have fun. They want to do fun events. They get the community together to do things. I mean, you look at these ones this week. I've seen some people already comment saying that these community goals they're flippant and they're not. Oh, why isn't it another Thargoid one? It's been 2 weeks and we haven't progressed the Thargoid storyline and stuff like that. It's like guys, it's a game, it's a community thing. If World of Warcraft can run what's the winter festivity event thing that they do every year? They do that kind of joking one where Grandfather Winter or whatever himself comes down into Ironforge or whatever and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I played World of Warcraft, but it's like, it's a game. We can have a bit of fun. It doesn't have to be all bloody work and
competition.
It will come. And there was a really nice remark on the forums this week. Actually, I should mention, which come directly from someone at Frontier, where people were saying about why aren't we progressing? It's slowed down, blah blah blah, like that. And they're saying basically, be careful what you wish for.
Nice.
So I might just sell all my ships and move to Colonia now, I think, actually.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Yes. NSR is currently doing the CG in Open. Oh,
Ooh.
good luck
Good
to
luck
you.
with that.
Run away. Sorry, what's Zaranel saying there? Quite like the fun ones. Don't want it to be the end of the universe all the time. Yeah, I think you got to look at it pragmatically sometimes. I mean, it's kind of like, is it all? Does it all have to be pain and suffering and misery? Does it have to be war and all that kind of stuff? Nah, it's a bit of fun.
True, but some other people's perspective on what fun is just different. So,
and again, this comes down to this. The game appeals to such a wide audience. There's so many different people with different tastes, different preferences, and how games work and everything like that. To expect a community goal every week that appeals to you and your tastes, I think that's just incredibly naive. Yeah,
selfish.
Well, maybe that as well. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a little bit of that because it's, it doesn't make sense for them to run a community goal which appeals to the taste of each individual player type every week, because you'd end up with like 17 community goals every week. There'd be a trade one, an explorer one, a combat one, and all these kind of things, and then player contribution would basically be spread between all of those things.
Yes.
And then that would be the nightmare task that they'd have to kind of. I'm going to go ahead and launch. I can see an Arimus. Whee! Yeah, and then that kind of like trying to get the player contribution back up a little bit would be an absolute nightmare. Oh, we've got Commander Daylight there.
Oh, he's waiting here to bite me.
Oh, is rightio. Okay, because you've got obviously your stream coming up shortly. Do you need to head off and get set up? You got a few minutes. Cool. But yeah, I mean, this is the balance that Frontier have been trying to play all the time with community goals. Is too many of them basically means that one suffers. Not enough of them means that people are not happy. The wrong type of one means that trying to do one which is like fits a niche. Like we look at the Colonia ones that just completed from last week. One of them had, I think it was something like 34 contributors for the majority of it. So it's like, whilst that was something that a lot of players were asking, they wanted the goals out there, and it was kind of like a player written one and stuff like that. And They put it in there, and it was like 34 people showed up to the party. It's like we want to kind of do these things, but then if you guys aren't really going to show up, then you can't blame them for not wanting to do those kind of things, because it's like, well, no one's really taking part, so is there any point going to the effort of doing it? And I think people just don't see that. Like I said, it comes back to this idea that me and what I want is the most important thing, and it's impossible to kind of get out of that mindset and think, well, what about other people, and what about what they want and what they need? You know what I mean? I think that's where a lot of the consternation hits.
Yes.
Ali Jack saying, a comment probably comes from people, type of person who wants stuff now. Move on. Yeah, there's a lot of kind of, I don't say impatience, but there's kind of that feeling that people just want things to be at their pace that they are used to having, not necessarily the pace that everyone has. And that's kind of the thing with community goals. It's that kind of weekly cadence, so that people know that it's coming up. They know that there's going to be a period of time where they can take part, they can do stuff, they can get involved, they can contribute. But even that, then, when they have goals like that, and then you see the odd thread pop up where someone's 20,000 light years the other side of the galaxy, and an Explorer community goal pops up, and then they're like, no, that's not fair, I'm not there to do it. And it's like, well, you can't please everyone. I think that's the lesson. That's the lesson for today, I think. Royal Hanky. Greetings, Royal Hanky.
Hey, Royal Hanky.
Go ahead, Aramis.
The game is so huge, so you can't expect to be able to take part in absolutely everything in the game.
Yeah. There's things I've missed out on that I wish I could have got involved in. There was community goals of past and present. I mean, not just community goals, but like various events, getting to look at the Thargoid, the nursery, the map room thing. You said you've done that now, haven't you? Was it just this week?
Yes.
Yeah. I've still not done that. I've seen the videos. I knew of it. I was really keen to see players react to it and stuff like. I myself have not gone out there and done that because I've been so busy doing other things that I've just not got round to doing that particular action.
Yeah, it's a choice.
And this is the trouble you have. You can't possibly be doing everything, and to complain that you're missing out on something, I think it's silly. It's gonna happen no matter what you do.
It's gonna happen, yeah.
Gal Mid, and more competing community goals would be nice. I would love to see more competing ones, not just like competing for time and contribution, but literally having opposing goals. I think would be a more clear way of putting what I mean there. But having something where if one succeeds, it will negate the other, and vice versa.
Oh yeah.
They've tried to do that on a couple of the earlier ones, but. Because I think the point I think Zaranil brought this up on the Twitter earlier on was the Gnosis one was pretty much set to succeed no matter what, basically, because it was a player driven one. It was a player requested community goal, and it was always going to happen because there was already a large contingent of players who were ready to contribute as soon as it went up, and
exactly.
it succeeded. As we expected. And I think it comes down to having a type of community goal which could quite easily go one way or the other. And the point that I was trying to say about the Gnosis one earlier on was the fact that it was, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm going to say Gnosis. I don't know how you pronounce it.
No.
But the point I was trying to make about that was I didn't see why people would want to oppose it other than to just be jerks, basically. Why would you not want to allow a player group to have a ship other than you're jealous that you haven't got one? I can't think of a logical reason in my mind of why you would want to oppose that. But something like the Aegis ones, like the example I came up with earlier on, having like a Thargoid hippies. don't kill the Thargoids. Thargoids are our friends. I can imagine that being something where there's an opposing community goal. Something would actually be a viable alternative that might be really divisive in the player base, where some players might not want Aegis to make a strike on a Thargoid system or something like that, but then other players might want to contribute to that. That's something I could see, which would be a nice kind of pair of opposing CGs. Gamma, let's see the dancing Braben bobblehead. Yeah, and I've got the got the pumpkin on one side and the dancing Braben on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and slam straight into the middle of the ring system just to prove a point about what we were saying earlier on as well. Steam actually don't like collecting unknown artifacts, and I've not done it because you don't like messing with other species' technology without their permission. Yeah, no, and I can understand that. I mean, you know, if it's a moral choice not to do it as well, I can perfectly understand that. I felt absolutely awful. I mean, obviously it's been put up on YouTube now, so I can't deny it. But I helped Obsidian Ant record his latest video, where he wanted to kind of take out a Thargoid, and I helped him cut some of the footage and stuff. And yeah, I felt guilty. I felt really, really guilty doing that. I know it's just a game and it's just an NPC and all that kind of stuff, but it felt really wrong doing it. You know, I didn't want to do that. But there we go. I've done it now, so they're gonna hate me. They're really gonna hate me.
Yes, they're gonna target you specifically now.
Yeah. It's that crush. It's that crush. It's him what did it. So Zarna saying very happy that the nose is seeded like that. Yeah, I mean, it like I said, it's one of those things that oh, there you go, right on schedule. A ship has spawned in the middle of nowhere. There we go. Yeah. Gameplay. Malik, for me, the CGs just don't register, and no incentive for me to take notice. I'm not invested in anything they offer. And again, this is one of those things we were saying on the thread earlier on. Is this idea of clarity of intention and the. You know, rather than it just being cash incentives and things like that, it's like, tell me what the impact is going to be. Make it obvious to me the success and the failures. I think is a key thing. Yeah, that definitely needs to happen. Oops, my thrusters are on there. Shan, yes, sorry, Shan. Yeah, I should totally apologise. Yes, I think you were mentioned in the video as well. Yes, it wasn't just me. Wasn't trying to take the credit. Yes, it was Shan. Shan and myself helped Obsidian Ant on there. Ali Jack saying there, new players' community goals are a good way to get involved, but then it's a good way for new players to learn how the Elite Dangerous Galaxy works as well. Yeah, exactly. It kind of that idea that it's not just you making that thing. It's not about the individual, not about you doing things which are going to have a big impact. It's about working together as a large group to achieve a goal. That's the bit that people keep missing with community goals. All the suggestions I keep seeing for how to fix them and how to improve them and why they don't work and why they're bad and all that sort of stuff. None of them really come up with a viable alternative to something which allows 100,000 people to contribute to a single common goal, that is the design for the community goal. That is their purpose. That's the reason, you know.
Okay, yes. I'm going to head off and get my little thing set up.
Roger.
So if I may just plug it here for a second.
Yep, go ahead. Yeah, slap it in the chat there.
So I'm going to be doing my usual stream. I don't actually have a student for this week, so instead I'm going to be practicing some PvP with some people. I encourage you to come along and have some fun with us if you like. Just leave your salt at the door. Yeah, salt not included. We are currently in the Delcar system. We'll be somewhere around there, so by all means join in if you wish. Want to get some practice in? All good with me.
Cool.
So yes, thank you very much for having me again, Crash, and I will see you in about 10 minutes or so.
Roger. We will head on over to you soon, so stay tuned, folks. Okay. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Cool, Commander Arimus there. Right, yes, as we said, so we're going to be doing a little bit of a different thing tonight. Arimus is going to go ahead and get set up. I will take a break shortly, and we will head over to his channel as soon as he's set up and going. But first of all, I just noticed what Galmid just said in the chat there. Pretty loving the way that the asteroid rings gets kind of solidify as you approach. Yeah, I love it. The sheer scale of these things. I mean, the problem with when you're going in Super Cruise and you're traveling at these ridiculously high velocities, you don't get a sense of the scale. It's absolutely mind-blowingly enormous, these rings. some of them, a lot of them, are wider than like the entire Earth. In a lot of cases, could fit in, diameter could fit in like multiple times over. But yeah, just looking at these rings now, it's just slowly approach these ones as it starts to. I love these, and the fact when you have multiple rings inside each other as well, like this one is traveling at a different velocity to the silver one over here as well. If we approach the silver one, is it going to... It should pick up my relative frame of reference. There we go. I think it has. So yeah, so once you approach the central part of the silver ring... just there in the chat there. Hashtag unsubscribe. Crash helped kill a Thargoid. Yeah, I know. Terrible. Crash is, oh god, yeah, it's gone downhill. There we go. So I'm within the relative velocity of the central ring now, which appears stationary with respect to me, but now the ring on the outside is rotating, contra to rotation to the inner rings. I love it. I love the little details in the fact that all of that is in there. And then in fact you could just pick a spot and just wait for it to solidify. There you go. Starting to get some of the... Actually, I love that. Absolutely love the sense of scale. Is just blows the mind. Sorry, Malik, on there. Carrying on from what you said about the incentive for community goals on there. I'm just going to say there. That would help for someone like me who only gathers cash to ensure that I can do what I want and having lots of it, even the cash orders I want. Yeah, that's the thing with community goals, is like, to begin with, they're great. But as you get further on in the game, it's like the incentives are kind of like, 20 million. It's like, well, I could probably do a couple of missions and get that. So I'm not really, not really bothered about doing a couple of community goals that reach that that level sort of thing. So the cash incentives are good to begin with, but kind of they wear off towards the end. And this is where I'd like to see some real community goals, which are genuine rewards and incentives, which are going to drive the community. Going to be something that people want. Ali Jack saying there, personally, I'm not a combat player, so the bounty hunting community goals I'm having a go at. Ooh, sorry. Shan, the vid, my Corvette wasn't exactly stealthy, no wonder the Thargoids hate me. Yeah, my bright red and yellow Corvette, I kind of stood out like a sore thumb. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you watched Commander Chaos Cat today? Yes. She's been she's one of Arimus's students in the past, and she's now streaming away her time in Elite Dangerous. She's doing really, really well and loving it as well. She just recently bought Horizons as well. But I completely missed these two ships. They're probably gonna super cruise out, aren't they? Yes, every now and then I just catch one of these ring systems and think I just want to go mining, and just I'm really looking forward to the mining updates that are coming in as well, because it's something new to do in these things, and they don't get enough appreciation for the fantastic stuff that goes into making these ring systems possible. Zarano, yeah, responding to Aliak, say, yeah, the great thing about the community goals is that it's like it's giving you that incentive to go and try something else, which if you haven't already done it, definitely. The community goal that gave new players a Viper, exactly. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about. That's the things which are, they're more of an incentive than just straight up cash rewards. I mean, everyone likes cash rewards. That's great, but it would be much better if we had things which are like, okay, unlock a decal, or that's a flippant thing, but something like I don't know, 100 random rare mats or something like that is a reward for the 10% level, or and something like that. Something other than cash rewards would be a nice incentive for community goals. I'd definitely like to see some more variation in those kind of things. Ooh, that looks tempting. The Dalcar Jet Syndicate have offered me 2 million to go down and take out an emplacement power grid. Will Crash break the law? Will he be a good boy? Find out next week on Kerrash Landing. Yes, I think Arimus might be ready shortly, so I think we're going to go ahead and going to wrap it up now. But we will be heading over. I'm going to be on Arimus's stream on the other side, and he's nearly ready now, so I'm going to go ahead and host him. But as usual, I'd just like to say a massive, massive thank you. Thank you to Arimus for being the guest tonight. Thank you for all of you people in the chat. Lovely to chat to you all. Fantastic. Thank you for taking your time to chat to me and, not doing... There's so many other things you could be spending your time on, so thank you for that. Really appreciate it. But until next week, Commanders, we'll see you in the void.